So, it is cold. It is cold. It is cold this morning. I'm gonna get out here. It's about, what? It's 8:48. Get out here for a couple hours, make a little bit of money earlier in the day. I'm getting out a little late on the weekdays. But yeah, it is cold out here. It is time to break out the hat. Because it don't take much for me to break out my hat. Um, there was some negative comments on a last post. I'm just gonna say I don't think it's a flex to risk your personal safety to make money. Like, I don't need money that bad. So I mean, if you do, that's your business. But don't project that energy over here and act like there's something wrong with me because I'm not willing to risk my personal safety to make some money. I'm just sharing my stories. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm about to get started to see if I can make a little money this morning, and I will be back. So, I am in Greenville, South Carolina now. I took one trip this morning when I started, and that person had to go to the GSP airport, and I found a new thing. Where you pick them up matters also, because I actually made more money when I picked the guy up across the street from the airport and took him to Capello, even though Capello is closer than this one here is. Still worth it, you know. I still made well over $60 to do this, and my car gets really good gas mileage, and it's a Nissan Versa Note, just in case anybody's wondering. And I got me some egg rolls at the Quick Trip before I head back up there. I'm also gonna do something else before I head back up the road so that my drive back up the road won't be so boring. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to bring my stuff along with me, um, if you know what I mean. So I'm gonna spend a little time here relaxing, and I'm gonna head back up the road. And then when I get back up there, I will determine if I'm gonna keep Ubering or if I'm gonna wait and come back out later. So I did not become an Uber driver because I wanted to go, 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 go. If I wanted to do that, I would have got a regular corporate job. I would have kept my regular corporate job. Um, if you look at my profile under the Uber app, it says I'm doing Uber because I want to live the way I want to live. So that's what I'm doing. I'm chilling. We only got one life. I'm not finna I'm not finna just waste it doing meaningless things. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy the little scenery here near the Greenville Airport. I like QTs. I said, yeah, quick trips. Yeah, QTs. I like quick trips. The highway is right there. I'm gonna head on back to the house. Like I said, we'll see when I get there if I'm gonna keep Ubering or not. I'm definitely not Ubering down here. No, no, no. So I am back in the car, and I did go in and watch some videos from other uh Uber drivers. So, drivers have been, complaining about the change in the split because apparently it was 50-50 and now it's 70-30, and that does suck, like I said. Um, Also, drivers have found ways to kind of cherry pick which rides they're going to take. Like I said, my app doesn't show a dollar amount. It doesn't show a destination. All my app tells me is how many minutes their trip is. Like, that's all it says. And then you either accept it or decline it. What drivers are doing here is once they see how far they are away from the person, they will decide whether or not to keep it at that point. And just based on all the calculations I've done, like I said in that last video, I was going to adjust the B to A. Their trip has to be double my trip. Long story short, because like I said, I don't know where they're going. So I don't know if I'm going to be riding back empty. I don't know if I'm going to get a fare or not. And I don't know how much I'm going to be getting paid at all. It just tells me how long their trip is. So if their trip is 8 minutes, then my trip can only be 4 minutes. Like, that's the only thing we can go by. And I think that's the math that people are doing around here. I don't know what their numbers are, but for me, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah. I did notice that a lot of people had strategies, and a lot of those strategies were based on knowing how much you're going to be getting paid and where you were going. And it seems like they have locked all those things down, I guess, in the last 3 weeks, because I looked, there's no video newer than 3 weeks. And like I said, my app doesn't show any of that. So may not be a good idea, because I've come up with a way to combat that in my area. I'm not going to say it at all, because it may not be a good idea to be putting your secrets out there, because Uber is going to come along and close them. They don't want you cherry picking. I don't see why you can't cherry pick. I mean, as a driver, because quite frankly, riders do it. If a rider clicks on the app and it says $72, they will shut that thing out and wait a few minutes until it says $40. Like, so that's a rider cherry picking the driver and how much we're going to get paid. So I don't see why we're not able to do the same in return. So, but that's my opinion on the whole situation. Like I said, I'm going to have to get out here and do some driving and see how I'm going to do tonight after ending up in South Carolina yet again. And I will let you guys know how it goes. So as I pull up on downtown, I did notice another theme in all the videos, and that was being social. I'm not the most social butterfly person, you know. I tend to let the rider lead conversation, so if they don't talk, I don't talk. But I do think that I might start leading conversation a little bit more on some occasions with some riders. I'll probably be very picky. I'll probably be very picky. Now, I'm going to be honest and say that I did notice that on a lot of those videos, and I know this is not going to be popular to say, and I don't care, because I don't care about popularity. I just say what it is. A lot of those people, their acceptance ratings are very low. Like the last guy I was watching, his was at 6%. So when your acceptance rating is that low, they're going to give you shit runs. So I think those people have cherry picked themselves into the bottom of the rung. And now they're having to kind of deal with being at the bottom, because they're getting, I noticed he did get a lot of shit runs. I've noticed that whenever I turn my app on, the first one is the best one. If I turn it down, the ones after that suck. So I've learned to kind of just accept that first one. Every now and again, I'll get one that's not all that great. But for the most part, when I started and I was just driving and not doing anything but just driving, I was making a lot of money. It was flowing a little easier. Now I'm doing all these little tricks, and I notice I'm missing good rides. So, and then I'm getting shit rides. So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna, for the most part, kind of just go with the flow and just pay more attention and see how it goes. And I will let you know how it goes. So the Uber thing, you know, I think gets real complicated when you start trying to strategize and figure out and try to make yourself make more money. Like, I just watched the one that I just had. So it said it was going to take me 13 minutes to get to them. And then it said it was going to take, the total trip was 24 minutes. So I was like, cool, I'm going to take that one. It ended up only taking me 10 minutes to get to him. So that was less time. And then his trip was 22 minutes. Now, unfortunately, the trip is taking me out to Candler, which there's not going to be any other, you know, riders out in Candler. But since they don't tell you where you're going, there was no way for me to know that. If this had ended at the airport, which would have been 20 minutes also, I probably would have had somebody in my car on the way back to town. So you're looking at 20 minutes out here getting paid for, and then 20 minutes back into town not getting paid for, the 10 minutes to pick him up. You're looking at a total of 32 minutes for this 22-minute trip. So now, having said all of that, at the end of the day, Uber paid me $12.94. He said Uber only charged him $19 and some change. Okay, so Uber only got $7. I got $12.94. He gave me a $20 tip. So I ended up with $32.94. So I'm still getting $1 a mile with the tip. I think, like I said, it's going to be hit and miss, but for the most part, most of the riders that I deal with in this area, they don't want you Ubering if you're not going to be making a decent amount of money. Like they don't want to rip you off. The only ones that are cherry picking, and I mean riders, not drivers, the only ones that are cherry picking are the ones who are from out of town and they're trying to get a ride from the airport and stuff like that. The people who are just going around town here, they actually make sure that we're taken care of. So I'm just gonna put that out there. Uber is different depending on where you're doing it at. These bigger cities, I just don't see the appeal. I really don't. I don't see the appeal.